Lay, lady, lay, lay across my big brass bed.
Hi, welcome back to Central Christy La Luce and Live and Breathe Horses. We're in full summer now. I'm just having a wee seat down. It's been such a hot day today. So yes, I know, Bing. So I'm here with Galileo this evening, and we're going to do a bit more of his story today. It's quite nice to sit down beside him because he's only little. Well, he's 15 hands. It's just that I'm very tall. Sometimes when I watch myself with him, he looks like a little pony. Anyway, what we're going to do today is just, we're a bit in the pursuit of lightness. I used him for the video we made, which was a bit of an overview about the classical work in hand. And he did that when he was young, when he was a stallion. We did quite a bit of that at one time in his life. But he's now 22. I mean, he hasn't done anything for a good few years. And he did ultimately spend most of his life teaching students. So, you know, and he did a lot of beginners. So, you know, he got the habit of being a bit heavy. I take full responsibility for that. Yes, Bing, I know he's doing a little in my ear there. You know, I should have been working him in between to keep him fresh and keep things good. I did at one point, decades ago now, stop using bits and just use a head collar for beginners. Why I didn't think of that earlier, I don't know. So that helped a bit. Although I did have a funny thing with that. After he hadn't worked at all, or hardly even worn a head collar for 2 years, suddenly some hard skin came off his nose. And I thought, how weird is that? Ben, come and show your nose, you see? And it's just for the head collar. So I guess it was just all those years of people learning, you know. And I do try to get people to, well, it's maybe not even so much beginners, maybe it's people who are more in bad habits. But anyway, we're now on a quest to try and get the work of hand lighter. You know, when I watched back that video, I wasn't very happy with it, and I thought, well, maybe it's good to put it out there, not being perfect, and of course perfection doesn't exist, ultimately, maybe eventually, but so it's maybe better to put out the mistakes and the not so good work and then show how we can correct it and make it better. So that's what I've started with him, and we're going to do a little bit of that today, just how to ask the horse to be really lighter. So we're going to, and this maybe is also very useful work if you've never done this with your horse before. We did say this in the work in hand video, but maybe didn't show enough for people to really be able to make a start with that. So this is a good learning for me and my favourite little horse here, and hopefully something a bit useful. So we're going to do very simple exercises, basically just halting, walking on. We're going to do halts, and then if he doesn't halt with his back legs underneath, we're going to correct that with very light touches of the stick, just to ask the back legs to come more underneath. So we're also just asking him to halt. If he pushes into my hand, I'm just going to keep a hold until he himself backs off the pressure. Not that my intention anyway is I'm not pulling, that he will have to back off his own pressure. You know, if he keeps coming forward, he'll come into the pressure. Also being aware when that happens that I should have prepared it better. So lots of little half halts, walking very slowly, preparing the halt, halting more precisely with my body, choosing the exact foot of the horse when we're going to halt. We can also try and do the halts in a shoulder in position, which can help keep it lighter and better balanced. And then just asking to walk on. Does that come as an upward movement coming from the engine, coming from behind, or is he pushing forward with his head and neck? So again, we can correct that just by repeating it. just by trying to keep the lightness and keep the feel. And of course, taking responsibility ourselves, myself, for that. You know, the horse can't lean on you unless you give him something to lean on. So it's to be very aware how we can be the best we can be and help our horse to keep light through the movements.
Lay, lady, lay. Lay across my big brass bed.